So AI is pretty much everywhere now, right? And every time it gives you an answer, it's making a little decision based on some kind of value system. But who gets to decide what those values are? I mean, who writes the rules for this stuff? That's what we're going to dig into.
Seriously, this question, it's one of the biggest puzzles in AI right now. We're not just talking about lines of code here. This is about ethics, it's about culture, it's about what we as people think is okay or not okay. So where do you even start with a problem that huge? Okay, to make this real, let's just jump into an example. Imagine you sit down and ask an AI to write you a steamy novella. What's the correct response? Well, here's the thing. There isn't one, and that's exactly the problem we're talking about.
Check this out. You could get two totally different answers, and you could argue that both are right. Response A goes for it, it's passionate, it's physical. But then you have response B, which interprets steamy as this really deep, quiet, emotional thing, and it doesn't get physical at all. So which one's better? Well, that totally depends on the person reading it, right?
And boom, that right there is the heart of the issue. When it comes to something subjective like this, there's just no single right answer. It's all about what you prefer. This is the exact challenge that OpenAI is now trying to solve.
So, what's OpenAI's big idea for tackling this? Well, they ran this really interesting experiment they're calling collective alignment, and it's basically their first big swing at letting the public, regular people, have a real say in how these AI models should act right out of the box.
So what is collective alignment? Think of it like a research project to, in a way, democratize the AI rulebook. The whole point is to get away from a handful of developers in a room making these massive decisions for everyone, and instead to actually listen to what a whole bunch of different people think.
So here's the breakdown of how the study actually worked. First, they got over 1,000 people from all over the world. Then, they showed each person a prompt, followed by 4 different AI-generated responses. The participants had to rank those responses, from their favorite to their least favorite. And finally, OpenAI took all that data and held it up against their existing internal rulebook, which they call the Model Spec. And let me be clear, this wasn't just a bunch of people from Silicon Valley. No, they really went for a global perspective. We're talking big groups from the United States, Mexico, South Africa, plus 16 other countries. And that diversity is absolutely crucial, because values are not the same everywhere you go.
Okay, so the big question, what happened when they compared all these public opinions with their own AI rules? The results were, honestly, kind of surprising. And the biggest surprise was just how much everyone seemed to agree. So they crunched all the numbers, right? They compared what the public wanted with what the AI's rulebook already said to do. And the amount of overlap, the agreement they found was, well, let's just put the number up.
Roughly 80%. Yep, you heard that right.